Thank you for that introduction. So today we're going to be talking about the hidden dangers of legacy PAM and why your security solution may actually be at risk. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Starting out, Keeper PAM is built for government. So we are FedRAMP authorized with the impact level of moderate. We're working on FedRAMP high, also state ramp authorized. And then we do have certifications for ISO 27001, SOC 2, HIPAA, GDPR, and PCI level 1. And then we do have the FIPS 140-3 validation. That's a validation of our encryption model for the public sector. And then with regards to cybersecurity, there is Executive Order 14144, which was issued and aimed at strengthening the nation's cybersecurity defenses. So we're a major proponent of that executive order, and I think as we go through the presentation today, you'll find that that Keeper is a great solution to achieve those ends. So starting out, let's talk about the problem that we're facing. Traditional layered cybersecurity solutions don't stop data breaches, and so when we're talking about traditional or legacy solutions, everything is usually focused on the border or the perimeter of the network, and so you have with those solutions inadequate visibility, security controls, compliance, and reporting capabilities, and that's for the user's password, credentials, privileged accounts, or any secrets that are being utilized by DevOps or anything that's vital to the organization. Now, keeping in mind that credentials are equivalent to control within your organization. A lot of clients have come to us and said, hey, we want something that is intuitive and that solves the problems that we need to solve, which are these problems of lack of visibility and security control for compliance. And then organizations traditionally have layered the cybersecurity with disparate software products. So the issue there is when you use disparate products, you don't have a unified solution, and therefore you're having to either bridge the gap with a lot of extra work and configuration or building integrations that didn't exist, or you just simply go without functionality that you desperately need, which is not a good scenario. And then this creates security gaps and vulnerabilities because everyone is busy and they have to execute their roles outside of just getting the security model stood up. So with these security gaps, we can talk about some of the things that have happened more recently. And there was a breach at the U.S. Treasury. And having read through the use case on that, it was a scenario where the vendor had basically support certificates or support credentials that allowed them to access client systems. And those support credentials were basically hijacked in order to access the U.S. Treasury. And then similarly, there's other hacks in the industry where those took place at the API level, and it was administrative hacks at the API level, which is a major concern because once obviously someone gets to that administrative level and being able to do that right away, they have full control over your most privileged credentials organization-wide. So these are the things that we want to address in today's presentation. So speaking to the Zero Trust Keeper PAM platform, you can see that it is a vast platform, but it's easy to set up, it's easy to deploy, and it's very easy to maintain. So typically, all these use cases set up and deploy within about 15 to 30 minutes. And so what we'll do is talk through with you and basically find out which identity provider you're using, and then integrate that identity provider into our password vault. Now, Keeper is the most secure, certified, and audited password manager and privileged access management platform in the world. And so storing things within our password vault, which is where the core of our solution lies, is ideal. It's preferred, especially if you want to meet this objective with this executive order. So storage of not only passwords, but secure file storage, and everything is encrypted down to the record level with the solution. And so if you're protecting your organization secrets that might be used, like database passwords and API keys, anything that's crucial or sensitive, again, whether it's a document or credential, should be stored within the Keeper Vault. Beyond that, we have the Zero Trust Network Access, which is basically an orchestration of secure connections. And so this would be situations where you want to procure access to someone with like remote desktop or SSH or even a web browser, and not expose the credentials in that scenario. Also record the screen down to the pixel level, capture all the mouse and keyboard activity. Beyond that, the secrets manager, which is basically protecting your privileged accounts within a DevOps environment, and preventing secret sprawl, preventing your developers from downloading secrets onto their many devices. So protecting the database passwords and API keys therein. And then the remote browser isolation, which is orchestrating a web browser inside of a web browser, and essentially locking off the control from the end user. So you can, from an administrative perspective, send someone to a website, have them automatically logged in, prevent them from going to the change password page, prevent them from going to other sections of the site. It's extraordinarily powerful, and it's highly secure. So basically what we're talking about with this Keeper PAM is a global architecture, a modern global architecture, and it deploys quickly and easily. You know, most of this is going to be driven off of the Keeper Gateway. So the Keeper Gateway is a service that you deploy within your environment, and that stands up in about 2 minutes on a Windows, Linux, or Docker instance, and that'll give you access to your infrastructure wherever you are. So let's say I'm a work from home user in Virginia, and I need to access resources in Washington, D.C. We deploy the gateway in Washington, D.C., and then I, as a work from home user, can securely access those resources, just as one example. And I could access those resources without the username and passwords being exposed to me or the username and PEM key. So whether it be that I want to make a connection to a target, or I need access to a credential, just-in-time access to a credential that automatically rotates once I'm done using it, those are all very powerful scenarios that we can handle. And then to give you a little bit more color on that, certainly, you know, password discovery, single sign-on security, that would include your PIV and CAC cards, passwordless authentication, and then credential governance and controls, so remote role-based access policies, SSH key management and SSH key rotation, secure remote database access. This again would be, with one click, I can launch a connection into a database, not see the username and password, and perform whatever actions I need to on that database. Or I could have database credentials shared with me and for, let's say, a few hours, and then automatically rotated after they're pulled back from my access. So just-in-time access, which is very popular. We do have industry compliance and reporting. So our advanced reporting alerts covers more than 250 security events. That would include events, you know, within the privileged access management system, administrative events, access control events, all the way down to the record level or to the folder level there as well. And of course, the password management, password sharing and rotation, and then secrets management for the DevOps teams, like I said, protecting your database passwords and API keys, privileged session management, again, launching a connection without exposing the credentials, remote infrastructure access. So we do have the ability to deploy that gateway in the environment, and that gateway allows us to make that end-to-end encryption happen through a tunnel to access the target. And then the zero trust, zero knowledge security architecture, which is highly desirable, that goes down to the device level. So that's far superior to the typical legacy model of saying, hey, we're secure at our perimeter. No, with Keeper, we're secure down to the device, down to the individual record and folder within the Keeper Vault, because every record and folder within the Keeper Vault has its own AES 256-bit encryption key running in GCM mode. So each individual record is secured on its own. And then, securely accessing every resource and account, meeting our compliance requirements, seamless on-prem management and cloud native management, and then password protection, again, on every resource, and the ability to automate the password rotations. So that's significant with the password rotations because there are more threats with AI and machine learning. And whenever you reset a credential, you're resetting basically 0 day on that front. And then, Keeper is definitely breaking away from traditional PAM solutions. So legacy PAM solutions, they have been traditionally difficult to set up and expensive. And essentially, what clients have been telling us is that they lack a lot of the controls that they want or a lot of the functionality because these are so difficult to deploy or to maintain. And so with Keeper, everything is unified, it's modern and intuitive, and every use case sets up typically in about 15 to 30 minutes. So clients have been loving that. So you get something that's cost effective, and you get something that's quick and easy to deploy and maintain for your team. And then just a few comparisons of Keeper PAM versus Legacy PAM. So again, we talked about the cost prohibitive nature of it. First off, the way that Keeper supports our product is extremely strong. And essentially what I mean by that is we help you with onboarding, training. We can help you with configuration of the system. And Keeper doesn't charge these exorbitant professional services fees. We have one support package typically that our clients get called Platinum Support. And they love that because we can help them with everything. And the costs are predictable for the entire year. So that's a major savings, not only in terms of revenue, but it's a major savings in terms of time because we can help you very quickly to get those deployed. And then helping you to get your credentials imported, to get everything organized, to set up, help you set up password rotations, get staff trained. And again, with Keeper, you're going to have better visibility. Like I said, reports with 250 plus security events, the ability to see who has access to what and who has what shared with whom. And then also things like checking the credentials to see if any of your passwords organization-wide are weak or reused. So meeting the compliance levels on all that. And of course, we are a world-class security architecture with Keeper PAM. Most certainly, when you see the strength of the gateway, definitely this is a global world-class solution. So one thing that I want to leave you with as I wrap up here is legacy PAM. In a lot of cases, people, they invested a lot of money, they invested a lot of time. And of course, when you invest all that, you feel like, hey, I should be secure. That's not typically the reality. And that's the great thing about Keeper. You don't have to invest an exorbitant amount of money or time, and we can help you make this easy so you don't have to live in the pain of the legacy PAM solution. We can walk you forward in a way that's modern and sophisticated and that's constantly evolving. So with that, I'll just say, please reach out to us if you want to meet regarding your PAM solutions. We'll walk through your use cases. We'll make it fun. And thank you everyone for your time today.